Look at this thing. A truck sitting in a showroom like it owns the building. And honestly, it does. Now let me tell you why the 2026 Ram TRX 4000 Dominator just changed the rules of what an American pickup is allowed to be. By the end of this video, you're going to know something about this truck that Ram's own marketing team hasn't made loud enough. And trust me, it should be the headline. Here's what you need to know first. There is one thing inside this cabin, one specific design choice that's going to make every Ford Raptor R owner genuinely question whether they spent their money right. We'll get there. And my final verdict on whether this truck is worth the price? My answer is not what you'd expect from someone who covers performance trucks for a living. Here's what we're covering: the exterior design and what it's actually saying, the interior, which is in a completely different league, and then the performance numbers that explain why this is called the Dominator.
Most trucks lead with the engine. Ram said, no, let's lead with the cockpit. What you're looking at is an interior that doesn't belong in a pickup truck, and I mean that as the highest compliment possible. The seats are wrapped in a dual-tone Alcantara and leather combo, charcoal suede in the center bolster, lighter leather on the outer wings, and stitched with red contrast thread so sharp it almost looks hand-done. The TRX word mark is embroidered directly into the headrest. Not a badge, not a sticker, embroidered into Alcantara. That detail alone costs more to produce than most trucks' entire seat packages. Now, look at the center console. That is not plastic pretending to be carbon fiber. That is genuine woven carbon fiber, the flat weave kind, wrapping the entire shifter surround, the cup holder housing, and the side panels of the center stack. In a truck you can haul lumber in. I genuinely cannot get over that. The gear selector has a leather boot with red stitching. The armrest lid, also Alcantara, also TRX badged. And those drive mode buttons, four-wheel drive, terrain selectors, traction controls, are laid out in a row right below the shifter, within thumb reach without looking down. That's not styling, that's ergonomics done right. Here's my strong take. Ram has made the interior of the TRX 4000 Dominator better than the interior of most $80,000 luxury SUVs. Not good for a truck, just good, full stop. But the interior is only half the story. Wait until you see what they've done with the infotainment and tech, because that's where this truck gets genuinely futuristic. The centerpiece of that dashboard is a large portrait-oriented touchscreen. Based on the UI shown, this is running a heavily customized Uconnect interface with what appears to be TRX-specific drive mode software built in. You can see distinct terrain modes on screen: drive, Baja-style off-road, snow, and a runner-style preset, each one presumably adjusting throttle mapping, suspension damping, and torque vectoring independently. That's not a media center, that's a mission control panel. The dashboard itself is topped in Alcantara, not leather, not vinyl. Alcantara, the same material found in Lamborghinis and Ferrari cabins, is your truck's dashboard surface. A red accent strip runs horizontally across the full width of the dash, matching the door panel accents and the seat stitching. This is a cohesive color story in a truck, and it's executed better than some European luxury brands manage in their sedans. The door panels continue the theme. Alcantara center section, framed in red trim rings with a brushed satin finish metal door pull running diagonally. Two separate speaker grills are visible per door. That points to a premium audio system, likely a 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen or Harman setup at this trim level. And this is where I have to be real with you. This absolutely destroys what Ford offers in the Raptor R interior. The Raptor R, at a starting price of around $109,000, gives you a decent tech package and acceptable premium finishes, but it does not give you genuine carbon fiber on the console, Alcantara on the dashboard, and embroidered sports seats as a standard offering. Ram has out-luxuried Ford in a segment Ford invented. That is insane to me. Let me be honest with you for a second. The infotainment in Ram trucks has historically been a weakness. Uconnect has improved, but it's not perfect. If this custom drive mode UI introduces any lag or bugs, especially in off-road conditions when you're switching terrain modes on the fly, that's a real problem. Beautiful screen, but Ram needs to deliver on the software side. Now, remember that thing I teased earlier about what's going to bother Raptor R fans? We're getting very close to that. But first, let me show you what this thing looks like from the outside, because the exterior tells a completely different story than the interior.
Okay. I said something earlier about Ford Raptor R owners. Here's the partial truth. It's not just one feature. It's the fact that Ram has delivered a more complete luxury experience inside a more capable off-road truck at a lower starting price. Raptor R starts at $109,000. TRX Dominator is expected to land between $90,000 and $110,000, depending on configuration. That's the threat. And I haven't even shown you the outside yet. This next part? This is actually where the Dominator earns its name. Don't skip this.
Gunmetal silver. That color isn't random. In shadow, it reads dark and aggressive. In direct light, it goes almost chrome. It makes this truck look denser, heavier, more industrial than it already is. Throw in the blacked-out wheels, the TRX bed graphics, and those mud terrain tires, and this thing has a visual presence you feel before you hear it. Dimensions. The TRX platform runs 232 inches long on a 145-inch wheelbase. With the Dominator's flared fenders and lifted stance, you're looking at roughly 88 inches wide. That's over 7 feet across. Ground clearance sits at approximately 11.8 inches stock. A standard Ram 1500? 8.7 inches. This thing towers over its own bloodline. At the rear, full-width LED taillights, signature Ram. But look at that lower bumper. Those integrated D-ring recovery hooks are not styling. That is a functional rescue tool. This truck was built to recover others and to survive being recovered itself. Design verdict? This ages beautifully. It doesn't try to look futuristic. It's blunt, industrial. Tools don't go out of style. Spaceships do. The Dominator will look just as serious in 2035 as it does today. Now, looks mean nothing if the truck can't back it up, so let's talk about what's under the hood. Stellantis confirmed, 777 horsepower, supercharged 6.2-liter HEMI V8, 650 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. The Raptor R makes 700 horsepower and hits 60 in 3.7. Ram beats Ford on every single performance number. The Dominator spec? Estimates point to 800 to 900 horsepower through additional supercharger work. If that's true, this production pickup would pull ahead of a Dodge Challenger Hellcat in a drag race and then go crawl boulders afterward. Hot take. The 0 to 60 is a marketing stat. What actually matters is that low RPM torque surge in Baja mode at 40 miles per hour on a desert trail. That's the moment that ruins every other truck for you permanently. I know what you want, the verdict. Almost there. But there's one number nobody's talking about that changes this truck's entire value equation.
All right. Here's where I get genuinely honest with you. The number nobody is talking about? Ram is backing the TRX with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. On a 777 horsepower supercharged V8 truck. That is not a footnote. That is a statement. Is the TRX 4000 Dominator worth it? My verdict in 90 seconds. And I'm closing every loop I opened at the start of this video.
Money first. The 2026 Ram TRX starts at $99,995 plus a $2,595 destination charge. The Dominator package, with genuine carbon fiber, Alcantara, performance upgrades, and that custom suspension, lands between $110,000 and $125,000 fully loaded. Ford Raptor R starts at $109,000 and covers less. Ram wins on value, full stop. 3 real strengths. The interior is class-leading, not just for trucks, for everything at this price. Carbon fiber, Alcantara, embroidered seats. This cabin holds resale value the same way a luxury European does. 777 horsepower with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. That combination exists nowhere else in this market. Ford charges more, covers less. The terrain management system, Baja mode, 4L split, adaptive presets means this truck is smart, not just fast. There's a difference between a truck that can go fast and a truck that knows where it's going. 2 real weaknesses. 10 city, 14 highway MPG. If you're daily driving 20,000 miles a year, add $5,000 in fuel costs versus a twin-turbo competitor. That's a real number. Added over 6,500 pounds, this is not a city truck. New York, Chicago, Seattle, this is a weekend weapon, not a parking garage regular. The verdict. Loop 1, yes, the interior humiliates the Raptor R. Not slightly, completely. Loop 2, is it worth it? Yes, but only if you'll actually use it. Texas, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, buyers who live where the terrain demands this truck will never look back. Buying it to look good in traffic? Save $10K and get the Raptor. The TRX 4000 Dominator was built for exactly one person, someone who demands the most brutally capable, most luxuriously finished pickup American engineering has ever produced, and is ready to pay for every pound of it.
Remember that truck I showed you at the very start? Sitting in a showroom like it owned the building. Now you know why. 777 horsepower. Carbon fiber and Alcantara in places cars don't dare. A warranty that covers a supercharged V8 for a decade. And an exterior that doesn't try to look like the future because it already is the present. The 2026 Ram TRX 4000 Dominator is the most complete performance truck America has ever built. And I said it. Fight me in the comments. You want to see exactly how this stacks up head-to-head against the Ford F-150 Raptor R? Spec by spec, dollar by dollar? I covered that in full right here. Hit subscribe if you want takes that are actually honest about what you're spending your money on. I'll see you in the next one.